There are new concerns about the possibility of national security secrets leaking out following the discovery of another unsecured group chat that was used to share details of U.S. military operations overseas. Two sources tell NBC News that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth used his personal phone to send information ahead of U.S. airstrikes in Yemen to a group chat on that same app that we've talked about here. It's called Signal. 13 people were in that chat, and get this, it included his wife and his brother. Hegseth and other top Trump national security officials were criticized. This was just a month ago for a similar incident. That time, you'll remember the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic magazine. His name's Jeffrey Goldberg. He was accidentally included in another Signal group chat. Well, for more on this, let's bring in NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez. Gabe, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. What are we learning about this group chat, and any warnings maybe that Secretary Hegseth was given about how to handle this kind of potentially sensitive information after what happened with Jeffrey Goldberg a couple months ago?
Hey there, Savannah. Good morning. Well, as you mentioned, Pete Hegseth now under growing scrutiny after this new group chat was revealed. And as you said, two sources with knowledge of the matter confirmed to NBC News that he did share that sensitive military information on that group chat, Signal group chat, with his wife as well as his brother and personal lawyer, both of whom do work at the Pentagon. Now, the New York Times, which first broke this story, reports that the information in question was flight schedules for U.S. military jets that were targeting Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. One source confirms that to NBC News. But as you said, Hegseth now under growing scrutiny and had received a lot of criticism over the last several weeks for sharing the sensitive military information on that first group chat, which we had heard with that Atlantic reporter being added to that chat, which was initially started by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. Savannah.
Gabe, one of Pete Hegseth's former aides is speaking out about the environment at the Pentagon amid a recent purge, of some top officials there. What is he saying?
Yeah, former Pentagon Press Secretary John Oliot, a pretty remarkable op-ed in Politico magazine. He says that there was several top aides that were fired that posted on X denying some of what had been said by other top Pentagon officials, saying that they had been slandered for leaking sensitive information to the press. Well, Oliot, in his op-ed, writing that after a terrible month, the Pentagon focuses no longer on warfighting but on endless drama, concluding it is hard to see Hegseth remaining in his position much longer. Savannah.
Democratic Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer reacted to this news of this second group chat that had this sensitive information in it. This is what he said. I'll read some of it from X. He said, "We keep learning how Pete Hegseth put lives at risk, but Trump is still too weak to fire him. Pete Hegseth must be fired." What, Gabe, has been the reaction of the administration to this story and to sort of a second similar infraction?
Well, certainly, Savannah, Chuck Schumer not the only Democrat that is calling for Pete Hegseth his resignation. Now, the White House has put out a statement on social media saying that no classified information was shared. The Pentagon, meanwhile, writing that another day, another old story. So the administration, since the beginning of this incident, the first group chat several weeks ago, has insisted that no classified information, rather, was shared, that these weren't war plans. That's what Pete Hegseth has tried to argue. But President Trump, he's repeatedly stood by his defense secretary. Still, he has not commented directly so far on these latest developments, although we will probably, we are expected to hear more directly from him potentially later on today during the Easter egg roll here at the White House.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.